Welcome, one and all, to the second episode of the year 2023. And we are in the second month of the year. And already we have a lot which is happening in the world of cricket. From a World Cup currently happening in South Africa, the series of test matches in New Zealand and in India. And to discuss all about the games in progress, or rather the series in progress, we have some amazing guests today. We have Bharat. Hi, Bharat. We have Pranup, Bidu, and Abhinav. So, to start with, the most exciting part of every Indian guy's means this is a must watch in every Indian guy's list, and that is the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So I want to ask my dear panelists, how is the? Are you happy with how the tournament how the series has progressed so far thus far?
I mean, result-wise, of course, why not? Results are good for us. So, result-wise, yes. Otherwise, I've actually been happy as well with the way Australia has responded to this, given that the second innings rain fade was their 37 all-out moment, right? But I think apart from that, generally they've turned up, they've shown signs of intent. I particularly liked their first innings in this test. So it seemed to me that Australia also had some intent, but for some reason they simply couldn't turn up in the second innings. So all in all, yeah, good test match. I love it when the results are so overwhelmingly dominant for India. But yeah, good cricket for me.
Yeah, our group started. We started discussing cricket when India was touring Australia, and then the whole toast the toss thing started. And we have some fond memories from the series, and the fondness for the series is right there for the past 2 decades now. Given that when India and Australia became almost equals, and Bidu, so actually, we did not discuss the first test match that was held in Ahmedabad. What did you enjoy the most about it? What was your highlight moment in that game?
It's not the matches are getting over in so short time. We don't realize when did Australia bat even. I think Australia did not bat well in both the test, but as Abhinav said, they had much improved performance in second test, although both of them ended in 3 days. But if you just focus on first test, I was disappointed in the approach of Australia because they were trying to occupy the crease a lot more, and that would have taken them nowhere. And as it happened, so somewhere they had to score runs, and the only people who tried to score runs were trying to smash balls with like via sweep shots. And one has to realize that yes, you can play sweep shots, but that if it is not your strength, you cannot play that well for a longer period of time. You're going to get out at some point. You look at Indian batting; they are playing sweep shots. Some are not working for them. Cheteshwar Pujara got out through sweep shot. Bharat got out through sweep shot, but they're also using their feet. So this is what we saw in the second test when the Australian batters started using other means of scoring runs. But yes, but I think just to focus on the Nagpur test, because there's so much noise with Australia, the spinners and everything. The first day where the Pacers took the first 2 wickets and completely derailed Australia's approach. I think that's the highlight of that particular test.
My bad about mentioning Ahmedabad test instead of Nagpur test. Like, uh, yeah, as you mentioned, the matches are happening so fast, we are even forgetting where they are even playing. So, Pranup, do you think the Australians should hire Ravichandran Ashwin and Jadeja as their batting coach?
I don't think so because I feel in both the test matches, technique wise, the Australian batters are the best. But I guess somewhere down the line, they have tossed the match in the dressing room itself. Because I guess in the team meetings or something, they are like, just go and play the sweep shot, irrespective of where the ball pitches. So I guess mentality wise, they are not there. I guess they have like I don't know what they practiced in the warm-up games or in the earlier matches, and what Ravichandran Ashwin's clone bowled to them. I have no idea, but I guess Australia have lost it mentally. Technique-wise, they're still there. Labuschagne is batting good, Khwaja is batting good, but I guess somewhere mentally they're not there. I guess in the meeting they are like just go and play a sweep shot, be it reverse or flat sweep or anything, or slog sweep, irrespective of where the ball pitches, even if it's a bouncer, play a sweep shot.
Okay, good
It
observation.
was like that. Sorry, I don't remember which series. It was something I was watching where the bowling started seeing Indian batsmen driving in a pitch that was bouncing and moving. So everyone got excited. Oh, they're playing the drive, which means catches are going to come soon. So this was the exact opposite of that, right? Like, oh, they're playing the sweep shot. They're getting wickets soon. So it was, and I think it was when we went in the first 37 all-out tests. I think that's what happened. We tried to drive everything, and we just kept getting caught. And these guys tried to sweep everything, and they just kept getting LBW and bowled, right? So the same difference.
Okay.
Like Beru said, you can still sweep on that pitch, but like we saw on day two, the ball kept low a few times, so you had to be cautious. Manas Labuschagne was able to play sweeps and reverse sweeps with caution, and he got runs off them also. But someone like Carey, he was premeditated to sweep a ball, and he got to a ball that pitched nearly outside the leg stump. He got castled behind his head. So that was kind of awful to watch. And I think he will take the advice of his wife and restrict playing sweep shots.
We have spoken a lot about the Australian batting, actually. Yeah, we know that it has disappointed most of its fans and admirers. But what about the Australian bowling? They have done a decent job. Abhinav, do you agree?
Yeah, I think they have. Um, is this the first time that Australia have even brought three spinners to India, right? Never mind playing in a match. I don't think they've ever even bothered bringing three spinners. Perhaps the first time they have three spinners in Australia put together, right? And not to mention one Ashwin lookalike who bowled for them in the nets. So like I've said before, I like the intent that they approach this with. Of course, with some of their players leaving now, it's almost like they've given up altogether. But I like their bowling approach. They realized very early that pace is not going to really make a difference. So it wasn't like England, I think a few years ago, where they landed up on the beaches of Botera and just kept trying to bowl fast. They at least understood what's needed. I'm very impressed by Murphy. I feel he's got that kind of classic elegance to become a Nathan Lyon in the future. Uh, he's just that beautiful orthodox spinner kind of, and I quite liked it. So certainly much better approaches with them. The only complaint that I may perhaps have is like in whatever little I was following of their bowling, they weren't consistent enough with the spinners. Like they bowl Murphy and Lyon for a bit, and then just bring in Kuhneman in between, and occasionally give the ball to someone else. Whereas the Indian bowling was more consistent, right? Like you had longer stretches that Ashwin and Jadeja bowled, and they kept the pressure on. But look, it's a new game for them. Other than that, I think it was good to watch.
Great. One Australian player who has impressed you uh, during the series, Pranav?
I guess, I mean, in all the four innings that we watched, I mean, there's no one single player. I guess in the first match, Murphy impressed. In the second, it was Lyon. So I guess only Murphy is a little bit ahead of Lyon for now because he has bowled beautifully. Although it's his first series,
Hmm.
so I'll say Murphy for now. He has great potential as a bowler.
And Bharat, Australian player who has disappointed you the most during the series?
Warner.
Warner. And why? Why?
I know he's low on form, but I expected him to carry his experience of playing in the subcontinent to get through some difficult phases. But losing someone of the caliber of Warner up straight in your innings, that will put a big dent on their innings, and they missed him in the last session also. Although we had seen Travis Head score some quick runs for them, It would have taken someone of the caliber of Warner to take them through a session or two. Uh, whatever Travis had scored in the 1 hour from the second day, that was erased in the first over itself. Maybe if Warner had applied himself through, he could have taken Australia maybe 50, 60 runs more, and that could have happened. That may have changed the course of the test match.
Okay. Speaking of disappointments, and the whole country seems to agree that only one player from the Indian team is disappointing. Bidu, do you think KL Rahul deserves so much flack?
I think it is adding up. I think the forms which he is showing across formats, sometimes his captaincy, when he is given the role of a captaincy, is not doing well. The IPL performances, even if it is good, it is not taking the team across the line. So everything is adding up. And the entire pressure he is taking, there is fans, noise, everything. So, I mean, I don't see him playing the third test. There's an indication he's removed from vice captaincy. That's clear enough indication that we will see Subman Gill. But he's trying his best to remain around the team. He's trying wicket keeping. He's trying. I don't know. He's a good fielder. He has the technique. He has a proven track record. He has scored centuries outside also. So and he is young. So let's see if a little bit of break works wonders for him, because we know that the likes of Rohit, Kohli, and all are at some point going to leave the team. And by that time, KL Rahul will still be a decent enough in terms of age. He will be at a decent age. So he has the time to again come back to the team fresh. So let's see what happens. But not, I don't see him playing the rest of the series.
Okay. And we have a Bangalore boy in the house. So, Abhinav, why is Venkatesh Prasad so annoyed with KL Rahul? Like,
Well,
tweet
why
after
shouldn't he
tweet,
be?
he's abusing KL Rahul. And do you think,
Why shouldn't he be, right? He's just yet another Indian at this point. I mean, who isn't abusing KL Rahul, right? The guy has
Akhil
talent
Shetty
gifted
and
to
Sunil
him.
Shetty?
I'm sure his wife is not keeping him happy at home. Okay, I mean, look at his form. You know, at home he's getting hit worse than on the field. So look, I think he's like Bidu is probably very delicate. Things aren't going well for him across formats and starting to add up. So, but look, I think Venkatesh Prasad isn't the only pardon me, isn't the only commentator or the only expert that's out uh, calling him out. I think a lot of people have done this. If you can imagine, people have done this to the likes of Jadeja in the past. So why not KL Rahul? He's far worse, and his fielding isn't that good either. So
He's
uh,
got some amazing catches. Those are the very few things I caught from the.
one-offs, but let's not compare that so much. Right? I just feel he's not living up to the chances he's being given.
Pranup, Venkatesh Prasad again mentioned that he should be replaced with Mayank Agarwal if they are looking for a replacement. What do you think of that?
See, before talking about Mayank Agarwal, for Prasad, see, he has his every right to comment on like or tweet on anybody. But only one problem with Prasad is right now is like he's for one innings and he starts tweeting. So at least wait for the match to end
Okay.
and tweet. Like rather than the middle of the match, like if one session goes wrong, he tweets like Ashwin should be removed or KL should be removed. Like at least see the full match, bro. Then comment on something. Like what if KL Rahul scores another 10 runs in the second innings?
Okay.
What his views would be.
Okay.
I like
Um,
that. Like another 10 runs, he said. He didn't say century. Another 10 runs. That is the that is the expectation.
we
And
have
that's
lowered
bad
the
enough
bar
in
for
itself.
him. Okay, I hope KL Rahul finds some form or luck, or
But
he or he
coming
can
back to Mayank Agarwal, I don't think he's still in good form. I guess he scored one double century in the semi-final or in the quarterfinals.
he scored a double
He
century
scored
in
a
the
double
series.
century. If you look at the whole Ranji Trophy, he has since been consistent across form and test format as well. So right now it's only Gill for the time being.
Okay, moving from the Border Gavaskar Trophy, another World Cup which is like very well managed. I love whenever South Africa hosts World Cup. such beautiful grounds, and that whole atmosphere is so fun filled. So, and India so far has had a good tournament. Bidu, so who has, which all games have you followed?
I did follow India Pakistan, and I did follow the first innings of India England, because I still feel, and everybody feels, England and Australia are going to the challenges in this World Cup.
Okay. Bharat, do you think India can spoil that prediction of Bidu?
Very tough to do that because the Australian batting has been very strong and the Indian bowling, which I thought is very good, it hasn't seen so in the past couple of games. So if India has to get over the line, it has to first defeat Australia in what seems to be the semi-final matchup and then face off against what is likely to be England on the other side. So that will be a tough outing. And we couldn't see all of the bowling tonight. The match seemed to be under the cloud of rain. So let's see what happens. It's going to be tough though.
Okay. And
Adding
Pranab,
adding to what Bharat said, like the only team which has the potential to beat Australia or England in a World Cup match is India. There's no other team. Because in 2017 World Cup, no one gave India a chance to beat Australia in the semi-final. But somehow out of the blue, Harman played a brilliant 175, and although we lost to England in the finals, but yes. And again in the Olympics, like we defeated England in the semi-final sides to reach the final. Everywhere India goes to the finals, at least there'll be England and Australia as a hurdle for them.
Bharat, you want to add something to it?
I was just saying should have won the finals also.
Yeah, I hope India does beat. I am also as hopeful as Pranav because this Indian team does have the vigor, and they have some good bowling and batting talent. It's nice to see Jamima, Smriti Mandana, and Richa Ghosh in the thick of things. Plus, the bowlers, they are bowling really well, both the pacers and the spinners. Bidu, any other team besides England? So, who do you think will be the fourth team to qualify for the semi-final?
I have not seen other teams' results, so I cannot comment on this. Anybody else can
Sorry
take
about
this.
that. And can someone tell me how well is Ireland faring against India currently at the moment?
Let me check the score.
Better than what you would have hoped for, but they are still behind what they would have liked in this case.
What's the score, Bharat?
It's 54 for
I think
2.
it was 50 odd in 8 over.
And
Oh,
there's a rain stop as well. So it's still delayed.
okay. And on that note, okay, there's some problem with my Zoom. And on that note, the Ranji Trophy came to an end, and Saurashtra defeated Bengal in Eden Gardens, and that was good tournament for Saurashtra. Sad luck for Bengal again. Only one supporter. Anyways, thanks guys for attending. And my Zoom account, I have to some issue with my camera. Nonetheless, thank you all for attending today's show, and we would love for our audience to give us a like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you all. It was nice hosting this show. Thank you. Pleasure.
Thank you.